to another plugin showcase review. Today we are going to be going over CitizensText. It's a smaller plugin that allows you to add text and commands to NPCs, which is just wonderful. This plugin does require the Citizens plugin, which a link to both of them are in the description, but Citizens does have built-in text and command capabilities. I'm only going to be going over the text capabilities of the CitizensText plugin, because that's kind of what the whole plugin is based around. It's kind of the main thing. It's the meat of the plugin, and I think it is far superior than the generic CitizensText. Gives you a bunch you can do in-game and a bunch you can do in a flat file config that we will check out at the end of the video. The commands are also great. I mean, the ability to add commands through this plugin is also great, but I won't be diving into that this video. That's something for a separate video. And another prerequisite here, I will be doing some basic work with Citizens. I will explain what I do as far as Citizens go, but this is not a video about the Citizens plugin. I'm not going to be explaining how to change the name or the skin or anything really complex with Citizens, or how to path or any of that. If you want a full Citizens video, let me know in the comments, and I would be more than happy to make that. But for now, this is not a Citizens video. I will explain all of the Citizens commands I run, but for the most part, just remember that you will kind of need to find your own way through Citizens. There are plenty of videos out there on Citizens, so just do a little bit of research. It's not a crazy hard plugin, but it is definitely one of the best NPC plugins. So, with that little rant being said, let's just jump straight into it. Okay, with that little rant now being over, let's get into this plugin. We are going to start by creating an NPC. Let's just create the NPC right here in the center. So we are going to run the command npc create, and then we're going to need a name. Let's just do the name welcome. We'll have this guy welcome people to the server, and then we're going to go down to trait here, space, capital T-E-X-T for text. Now, this is our welcome guy here. Now we can do text, which is the main command for the plugin. Text help, and we're just going to go through some of these here. So you have text add to add a message. You have text edit to edit a message. Then you would type in the ID of the message you want to edit, and then your new message. Then you have text insert, where you want to insert a message. Pretty self-explanatory. Remove also can explain itself there. Delay. This one's actually really cool. It sets a delay between messages. So if you want one message to be a little bit longer than the other ones, you can set a custom delay there. If you want the player to send the message, then you'd use this. I'm not going to go into that today since I'm the only one on this server. The text command, I'm not going to go into this either, but great feature. Text sound, pretty self-explanatory. You can just add or remove sounds, and then you just have the ID of the message, and you'd select the sound you want. You can change the name of the NPC. This is not the name that displays over its head, you have to remember. This is the name that shows up in chat. For now, the name that shows up in chat is just the name that displays over the NPC, but you can change that. Repeat if you want to stop the player from having the same conversation again. Random if So when you use the add command, everything gets added in a line, like linear. So you have to think of it as if you say you want your first message to be hi and the next message to be welcome to my server, that's how it's going to display. But if you do random, it could display either welcome to my server and then hi, or hi and then welcome to my server. It's just random, that's how it is. And then you have list to list all of the messages and their IDs. You have clear to clear all messages. You have convert, which converts messages. You have delete, and then you have sort of the admin commands. Everything's admin, but reload and save. So let's just start out with text add hi. And then now we're going to do text convert. And now he says hi. So you can see this is message 1 of 1. The name is welcome, and then the message is hi. Then let's add something else. So we'll just do how can I help? Now, hi, how can I help? And I'm clicking him right now, but as you can see, I have to wait a little bit before the conversation restarts. And now we can do something like, welcome to my server. So, as you see, each time I added another one, you can see this number went up. So 1 out of 1, 1 out of 2, 1 out of 3. So you can change that all in the config so players don't know how many are coming up, but that doesn't really matter. We'll just add a bunch more, like how has your day been? Do you like apples? Okay, so now we have a ton, we have 5. So now we can do list to get a list of all of them. And you can see hi is an ID of 1, the ID 1, sorry, hi is an ID of 0, the ID 1 is equal to how can I help you, the ID 2 is equal to welcome to my server, the ID 3 is how has your day been, and the ID 4 is do you like apples. So, let's remove one. Let's say we don't want welcome to my server anymore. So we're going to remove 2. So now you can see there's only 4 here, and he won't say welcome to my server. Let's just add that back real quick. And you'll see now it comes up at the end. Okay, so now let's turn on the random mode. And we will see that it just displays in any order that it wants. So it can repeat the same one over and over, or anything you want. And the larger of a field you have, like the more it has to pull from, the less likely you're going to get repeats. Pretty self-explanatory. And that's about it. There are still some more things we can do in the config, so let's just hop right over there. Okay, so here we are in the plugins folder, and you'll see this new one right here where we have the CitizensText, and then we can go into config right here, and let's just full screen that. So this can look a little confusing, and I definitely get that. This doesn't look super great. I'm going to explain them to you. So, you can think of these as placeholders, okay? So the brackets and then the number is a placeholder. And then that explains it all right here. So 0 is for the NPC's name, 1 is for the message, 2 is for the message ID, and 3 is for the message amount. So you can think of the message ID as where it is in the actual list. So if we just take a quick look back in game here, and we click on our NPC, this first one right here, which correlates to 2 right here, is the message ID, and then the 3 right here, which is the message amount, correlates to the 5 because that's the total amount. And then we have 0 right here, which is the NPC's name, which is welcome. And then we have 2 for the actual message. Sorry, 1 for the actual message, which comes last right there. Pretty easy, right? So I'll explain these color codes because not everybody knows these. A lot of people are just familiar with like the AND symbol using as their color codes, but you can just think of this as the AND symbol. You can use all of the regular things that you do normally. So let's say we want this right here. We want the brackets to be AND 7, not AND 7, but this symbol 7. So we want it to be the color 7, which is like a lighter gray. And then we want the inside to be 6, so gold. And then 7 again. And then 6. And then we'll just finish it out with a nice 7. Okay, so now I'm going to save it. So that's Control S, and you're going to see the little dot up there disappear. Make sure to save your configs, or it's going to be a ton of hassle when nothing works and you accidentally deleted it. So now we're just going to go to text reload, and look at how nice that looks. So we have this 7575. Sorry, 76767, which makes it look a little bit more clean. We can see that right there, and it's just regular color codes. So I won't jump too more into the color codes. You can think of these as placeholders, and it explains what the placeholders are right here. You can have clickable messages in your text. So if something is clickable, this is the message that will show up. Do you want the conversation to be automatic? If you do not, just keep it at -1. That's the default setting. And if you do want it to be automatic, you can set in seconds how long you want it to be. So say you want it to be 10 seconds, then every 10 seconds a new message will show up. I don't want that, I'm just going to disable it for now, but you can think of it like that. Now, this is the distance where the automatic messages will be triggered. So that's a 10 block radius around the NPC. So if you are in 10 blocks of the NPC can start automatically talking to you. Now, this is if you want the NPC to restart its conversation. This is automatically. So if you maintain within that 10 block distance, is it just going to keep talking to you over and over again? We don't want that to happen, so we're just going to keep it at -1. So this is the minimum time a player can click for the next message. Right now we have it at 0, which is disabled. So say we wanted players to only be able to receive a message every 5 seconds to prevent them from spamming. As say the NPC was giving out server information or rules, then you would want it to be a little bit longer so that you forced the player to actually read it, rather than just spamming through. This is how long you want the delay to be before the player can replay the conversation by clicking on the NPC. This is if you want the conversation to start automatically, but the player has to be within the distance that you set up here. We have that disabled because obviously I wanted to demonstrate by actually clicking the NPC. And here you can change it from a left to a right. So if I was to change this to true, then it would be a right click. False is a false is a right click and true is a left click. And that's it. That's the whole plugin. Really simple, amazing for getting NPCs to talk. Oh, I didn't show the text, how to change the name. Text, name, look at that. Oh, I didn't put a space there, but as you can see, we can fix that. Look at that. So this is not a test, is now the new name of the NPC. Or we could do something like welcome guide. Oh, I messed that up. NPC name welcome guide. And look at that. So that's just about everything for this plugin. It is it's a super nice plugin, really convenient, because I personally find that the base NPC text through Citizens is not good at all. So this is an amazing alternative to that. All the links are in the description, including the Spigot page, which can help you with commands and permissions to CitizensText down below, and the actual Citizens plugin, which is required, remember, that's also down below. So, I will see you all in the next video.